Thank you, Stream Elements. We are all well aware. Okay, hang on. Okay, how come it works when I'm online, but when I'm online, it stops working? There's no point fighting it. Now playing Stubborn by Taylor. Wow, Pretzel Rocks is like really into it. Oh, but that's true. I changed the font last time because I was fiddling in the settings. Oh well, regardless for now, I'm just gonna try one last thing real quick before we get to the main screen. Okay, so that's the problem. So what's probably going to happen is I'm going to rename some of the sprites. Because the soldier ones are slightly buggy because of the way they're named. But either way, it is time to switch to the main screen. And here you guys go. One last thing while we're here. We're gonna post the rules because the rules are important. Let's see, who are you? We have somebody called Agilet, or Agilet, or however it's supposed to be pronounced, that just showed up. And you are... You're my bot. Alright. Agilet or Agilet or however you're called, please behave. I just posted the rules. Don't think I'm asking too much here. And we are officially starting with the Colors of the Month challenge for this month. Goodbye. I don't know if you guys are noticing, I finally got my new card format, my new sketch card format. Now I can do them horizontally as well as vertically. I am very happy with this outcome. I'm just gonna back up just a little bit so like that you'll be able to see when I work in whichever format. Once again, thanks to the wonderful people at the Studio Comics Press. Was a special request at this point, and as usual, Alfonso frickin' delivered. It was extremely appreciated. So, what do we have for you guys today? Let me get my little note card. So, of course, it's Valentine's month, I should say, not Valentine's Day. So, the colors are going to be rose-themed, as you probably saw on my little icon here, because I can't have a webcam in front of me, there is no place to put it. And we are starting with light pink, cream, orange, red. So for light pink, I picked R81. Am I in the shot? Hang on. My avatar is in the way of my camera, so I'm just gonna scoop them a little bit so I can see what's going on. There we go. Take two. So as I was saying, R81 rose pink for light pink. Y21 buttercup yellow. And R05 salmon red. That's for the Copic colors. And of course my chameleon liners, because where would I be without them? That would be PK2 for Dusty Rose. NU0 for Sand and RD3 Vermilion. And I believe yeah. Marker Universe called the light pink Pink Tea Rose, Cream Sahara Rose, and Orange Red Red Rose. It's a very rosy Valentine's. So, we are starting right away with the first prompt. Oh, my coupon stayed there. I have a new pencil extender. Not that I needed it. But it's pink and I figured why the hell not. Let's try it out while I'm here, you know? The first prompt I got yesterday. It's gonna be nice and relaxed. We're gonna have fun. Because if we're not having fun, I'll be the first one to tell you guys, hey, have fun. I gotta constantly make sure I'm still in the shot because I normally move around a lot when working. It might be super obvious who I'm drawing right now, maybe not. Especially at this time of the art. Where's my... There we go. I keep losing my pencils and I put them right in front of me so I can actually see where they are, and I never do, and I'm an idiot. It's nice to finally get to draw on these, but like, they're the exact same stock as my normal vertical ones, but it's been a while. I've been planning to get some horizontal ones, and I actually get to use them like almost right away. Like, I got them this week, and I didn't even have time to break them in. I bet it's starting to make a little bit more sense now, isn't it? Like, after I do a sketch, if somebody else is going to work on this, on my drawings, it's very important that I do the pencils too, because my sketches only make sense to me, myself, and I afterwards. Too darn messy. Hang on, my nose is bothering me and I need a little sip. I should do some color variation on the sprites. Like, I can edit sprites, no problem. I've actually had years of practice. So like that, my 2 Terra avatars would look different. Maybe give them at least different color outfits. I mean, if I was able to import Kefka into a pre-made cast of characters, if you will, I should be able to customize sprites. Oh, hang on. No offense, but I don't want Christmas music when it's not Christmas. Of course, it's important to note that, as with every sketch card that I do during this challenge, these cards will be in my Ko-fi shop once I am done. I've got some pretty interesting prompts. Come on, feathers! Got some pretty interesting prompts yesterday, and I really hope I'll be able to do them all. Man, this eye is not cooperating. There we go. Does it look a little more recognizable? Oh, I'm done with this. I'm gonna get it out of my way. This is gonna be so cute. Then again, I'm always biased towards pinky colors. as you probably can tell. That pencil holder is literally from Wish. Like, I got two, and one of them was bent. So I had to take out the pliers, put it back together correctly. Shiro, if you want to engage your audience, you gotta talk. You can't make me believe that sometimes you guys just don't want to chill and listen to the music while I draw. I did notice on this current challenge is that even if they say to preferably use the colors suggested, that if you wish to use skin tone colors other than the ones present in the challenge, to go ahead. Personally, and that is completely my choice here, I don't see the point. Because then how is it a challenge if you then get to use some of the normal colors on top of the challenge? Like, I understand black and white. Black and white makes sense to me. But then you go, like, is it a challenge or is it a suggestion now? What is it? Now I'm gonna use cream. I almost use cream on her facial features. That's not what I want. I'm probably going to use a different color for her hair liner after I fill it up with cream, because that liner is not gonna show up once I fill it up, that's for sure. Am I still in the frame? Yeah, okay. Sometimes I don't know. I am drawing after Sam Schwartz. Sam Schwartz being my favorite Archie artist of all time. So I'm gonna leave this dry for a bit. Actually, chameleon liners dry up fairly fast. Oops, I forgot I already had some tack up there. Okay. Woo! And it was almost on the floor. Okay. This is the kind of day we're gonna have. Good to know. So we're gonna put the girls up there for now. And who's next? You know who I feel like drawing? There we go. Let's grab another card. And a sip of tea. I have a much bigger box for my cards now because holy jeez. Because I doubled my vertical cards and I only get like 50 horizontal cards. I'm so funny. I love this stuff so much. As far as being addicted to something, tea is gonna be one of the least bad for my health. Are we back? I just saw that the connection dropped. We're just going to wait a little bit. Again, gonna have some more tea. We're just waiting on Twitch to come back. Okay, and we're back. I don't know how much of all of that you missed, but I'm not gonna bother repeating. Just gonna repost the rules, because I know that's going to be 2 different video files on YouTube Archive. At least Silver Lining, it didn't stop in the middle of a drawing. It was like, okay, you did the girls, fine, you're done, go to bed. You know what? No, I want to do... Did I crash again? No, I'm good. Thought I crashed again. This is gonna be a nice simple one. Maybe if I had actual lead in my pencil. I know what my mistake is. Hang on. There we go. And... there we go. He's so cute. That was a nice fast one. But it was indeed one of the requests on the prompt list from yesterday. I always take off my smudge guard when I use my kneaded eraser because I don't want it to stick to the fabric. You see, now you can't say that my show is not educational, okay, people? You cannot say that. It will be a lie. Shiro, you got a compass, you got templates. Why do you not use them when making this Kirby? Because then the shape will not be as organic if it's a perfect circle. I've drawn a lot of normal Kirby's, so of course I would be tempted to do this specific Kirby. Poop, 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 poop. Images you can hear. So we're gonna leave Kirby dry a little bit. We're already can go back to Betty and Veronica. Because like I said, it doesn't take long for the chameleons to dry. But it's always good to let them dry a little bit more than you think. This applies to every art supplies, honestly. Art supplies is not something, well, in a way it is, but most of the time it's not fuck around and find out. It's okay to fuck around and find out when you're sketching and stuff like that and experimenting, but when you're doing something like for a client, you want to have found out before you fuck around. I can appreciate that Stream Avatar does multi-streams now, because now it looks like I have people watching me, and it's encouraging. I know it's all bots and 2 of them are me, but still, you know, you gotta find a little bit of joy in every day. What the? Hang on, folks. For some reason, Pretzel had kind of semi-crashed, sorta. Like, it didn't turn off, but it put itself, like, invisible, like if I had put the window down. Oh, there's somebody. Donnie. I think that's what it says. It's very small on my screen. Welcome, Donnie. You are realm now. Deal with that. And that's okay. Realm is a pretty good character. She's one of my favorites, actually. It's not often that you see pictomancers, and I really like the concept. This is going to be a really cute picture. And that's rich coming from someone who half the time when they're like halfway through the art, they go, oh, I am ruining it. But I don't know, I feel good about this one. Just gonna move this a little bit out of my face so I can actually see what I'm doing. Nice and juicy. I refilled this since last time I used it. It's very nice now. There is nothing worse than trying to work with a dry marker. Sure, sometimes you can take advantage of that when you want a distress look, blah blah blah, blah English. But most of the time that distress look is going to look like a friggin' mess colored in Crayola. So, whenever possible, make sure you work with juicy markers. Speaking of the juiciness of my markers, I am kind of pissed off at Diglick right now because they deleted my wish list. All the colors that I needed to refill, my list of refills is completely gone. So I have to manually enter them all over again because they have not replied to my email about my wish list. I don't know what's going on because usually Diglick is better than that at customer service. But at least I have this little manual system where I just flip around the marker that are dry. The markers that are dry. Conjugate! But it's still frustrating. I wish Copic had their own web shop, like Japanese web shop, like the leader does. So I can actually order directly from them at a more affordable price. Because as you know, I got some stuff from the leader. Some screen tone and a couple of mango tools, a really good knife, my feather brush, stuff like that. Then you have Copic, and Copic's website only links you to their distributors. Like, sure, the leader has an American distributor, and when you're really stuck, you can go there, but alley-oop, and layer, there we go. And that's another trick. When coloring blonde hair with marker, try shading with pink. It's gonna add more luminosity to the hair than just shading with a darker shade of blonde. Da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da. I'm just gonna make the background a little bit more interesting with some texture. I can't wait to show you guys some stuff I've been doing digitally. I've I bought a new set of tools that lets me color like a classic Golden Age, Silver Age style. And I've been doing some tests, and I'm currently working with that set of tools on a full comic cover for a client. Of course, I can't show you the whips because it's not my work, but I'll be able to show something at least pretty soon eventually. And honestly, I absolutely love the way it's coming out. And speaking of, I do believe I'm done here. It looks real pretty, at least to me. And there we go, we have Betty and Veronica in using only 3 colors. 6 pens, but 3 colors. Time for another sip and make sure everything is connected. I'm still here. You guys enjoy the rotundness of Kirby. Rotund? Rotund? He's round. Alright, now to test my theory. It's not gonna be too long, folks. Yeah, you just really don't like these names, do you? Nope. Well, I will try again next time when I reboot Stream Avatars. It's the best I can do because I actually renamed the files in the Avatar folder, but apparently that is not enough. Oh well. What's the point of experimenting if you don't experiment? That's my question. Of course, I do believe it'd be a crime against humanity if I don't fill in Kirby entirely with the pink, so that's what we're going to do. Oop. Toi, t'es mieux de pas me citer, je suis dessus pendant que je travaille, mon esti. Notice that I'm going over the same area several times. That is how you shade with the same color. You don't want to use a blender, because what a blender will do actually is remove some of the pigment. It will not actually blend. It's also important to go over the same area several times with alcohol markers to even out the color, because it's not always easy. It also depends on the type of paper you have. The paper I'm using is not ideal for marker work, though it's very, very good. I'd be remiss if I started complaining. But like my BB Craft, I think it's called, paper from the leader, that one is like crazy good for markers. Like, even when you have cheap supplies, if you have good paper, it's usually going to come out looking good. Ah, yes, of course, the dog singing the song over people as I'm trying to stream. And my mom trying absolutely nothing to quiet her down. Any of you guys play Kirby? I like Kirby. I don't play it as much as I should, really, because I do have access to the good Kirby games through my Switch, but butter, butter, butter. I didn't even try Epic Yarn when it came out. I don't know, it didn't appeal to me, I guess. Oh, we got a Strigo. And apparently Strigo is one of them fake Russian bots. Because I did look up if I was able to ban or block or stuff like that on YouTube, but like I have to do it manually. I can't set people, like only followers being able to comment and stuff like that. Let's see. You guys enjoy nice fat Kirby while I try and take care of that. I need a little drink of tea anyway. You'll only let me put them in timeout? You won't let me ban these people? What is this bullshit? I might as well leave this window open for the next one. This is just super annoying. I hate it. Anyway, back to Kirby. Gonna put a little bit of accents on his movement lines, and then we'll go to the third prompt. I'm feeling pretty good. Of course, gotta do the eternal clack-a-clack of the mixing of the paint. There we go. Nice and cute. Now, for those wondering, when I do sell my cards, I usually put my whole signature on the back when I'm done. So that you still know who the hell drew this. Alright. The prompts are all pretty... like, not too intimidating, I should say, this month, so that's why I feel confident. One last sip and we can go to the third prompt. Are you guys excited? Plus, I want to do something a little special with this one. It's gonna look weird for a while, but there is a method to the madness. Kind of back up that eye a little bit. There you go. I'm very focused. Well, it looks like I'm just doing whatever, but in a way I am, but at the same time, it's part of the plan. Now I gotta do most of the line art in red because that's how he colors. Well, not necessarily in red, but with dark line art. This is going to be cute. You guys just don't know it yet. And of course I'm adding details because he's all about adding a lot of details. Of course, I'm working off a reference, but I'm like being really taking it in stride, considering what I decided to do for this specific piece. I'm still in the shot. I'm still streaming. Alright, super. Let's keep going. It's gotta have texture, it's gotta have texture, he likes to add texture. There we go. Gonna put her up, have another sip. Oh, now I got two ghosts. Now I gotta go check if you're real or if you're another son of a Russian bot. Okay, let's take out the fourth card, and then we're gonna go moderate. Because I gotta do everything myself. Alright, let's see. Lutsky again. Well, hello, Lutsky again. You look real. Have another sip, then move to the last prompt. And as we know, while the last prompt dries, we're going to finish the third prompt. Gonna need to sharpen my shiv a little bit. Now, what I do like about this particular pencil lengthener, because that's basically what it does when you only have a little bit of pencil left, you stick it in here and it extends it, is that it screws in place shut. My other one, my red one, what it does, it's right here, like it has a little slidey thing that it tightens the thing around the pen as you go up, but the problem is it's tight, but it's not like super tight. If I try to sharpen a pencil while it's in this pencil holder, the pencil is still going to twist inside it. Here it's screwed in place, so when I sharpen it, I can actually keep it in the pencil extender, and honestly, that's more practical. It's gonna look cool if I do the cape thing. Hang on, guys, I'm stuck in a fidgeting loop. I'll be back. There we go. What the hell is up with my music popping like that? Holy crap. When it's not one problem, it's another. A little something. There we go. Gotta admit, I'm a big fan of doing this little corner dark spots when drawing smiles, just to denote like those little holes you get on the sides because you run out of teeth. I could have picked a less creepy way to describe it. Like, you know, when you run out of teeth casually, like one does. Go classic Catman. Well, if anybody needed any proof that I don't always trace, because yes, I do trace sometimes. I trace off 3D models, and to be quite honest, tracing off 3D models has helped me tremendously because I find that my my overall anatomy is improving because now I have that muscle memory. I sketched a couple hands lately, and I found them to be much better than what I usually do. And most of the time, when I can, I post a lot of whips on my Patreon and on my Ko-fi. So if you guys are interested in that, all tiers get to see most of the whips. I have some exclusive wallpapers. These, the whips of that, are for higher tiers. There's always some people interested in seeing whips. Can you teach me? I mean, I can't spend hours teaching you, but if I can get you started, it'll be my pleasure. You know, I think this one would benefit from a black line art. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to move this and get my new favorite inking. No, that's the spoon. I want the G. My new favorite inking pen. Mostly because the ink dries terribly fast. Make sure it's closed before you mix it, Shiro. We all remember last time. Good thing that when it's freshly applied liberally over a hand, it's fairly easy to clean. Oh, I hate keeping something in my mouth for too long. Keep your minds out of the gutter. I had my pen in my mouth. My wonderful Glitter free pen holder. Well, and they say free, it's really just the model that it is, because I'm just gonna take this out real quick. You notice that there's a circle and then another one surrounding it. It's because it can hold normal nibs, like my G pen right here, but it can also hold small nibs, like my Maru pen. As you can see, it is much smaller and round, unlike the spoon shape of the G pen, and there you go, it can do both. But I want to use my G pen here, because while the Maru is good, it's also usually for like really tiny lines, and I want to have some sort of weight on these. Now the thing is, the ink, I'm going to let it dry a little bit more, so it's a good thing that my previous prompt is going to need a bit more work. There we go. Dip, dip. Test, test. Ah, lovely. Now let's do this very carefully, and for the full blacks I'm going to use one of my brushes. Because I'll be damned the day that I try to fill in black using one of these. Like, it's okay to fill up small little details. Like when you want to add line weight or something, but if you start to try and fill up large areas of black, you are going to hate yourself forever and a half. Now, of course, the hard part when inking like this is to not let your hand wander. Like, even if I have a smudge guard, it's not going to be enough. You don't want your hand to wander, your palm mostly to wander all over your art as you work on it, because it will smudge. What's nice with the G-pen is that I can do a lot of those nice little scratchy details. Like, you can do them in with technical pens, of course, but at least you get more line variations when doing them with these types of pins, because like they're meant to open a little bit. So that's when you get your line weight. See, if I push and then I push less, you notice that there's a slight thickness difference. And I'm still learning how to do that, really. Oh, I'm going to need a re-dip. It's like markers. You want it juicy. Oh, I love this little detail. Here it doesn't matter that I overlapped, because like I said, I'm going to fill it in with ink. Sometimes, of course, re-dipping is not is not enough. You're gonna want to rinse out your nib as you work, because the ink I'm using is like really thick, really textured, and for some reason it smells like mud, so it will clog eventually. So much aggressivity in the current song. Holy jeez. Okay, now I can rinse my nib. And I have to clean it like right away or else it's going to stick inside my nib holder. Then I'm going to fill in black and leave it dry and finish the third card. Oh, this is nice and clean. What the? Oh, there it is. Oh, great. The Maru nib just fell out. Come on. I need a magnet. I don't need another hero. I just need a goddamn magnet. There we go. Now my good brush. I have a smaller one of these, but the big one is always much better to use. The big one keeps its point. I didn't do a good job of cleaning the big one from the looks of things, but that's okay, I'm using black. It better dry. It better be dry when I'm done with the Galadriel. Or else I'm going to hate myself. I used to use Drawing Soul ink, which, if you ask me, is the best one. It dries really nice and matte. But I had one bottle explode in my purse and the other one crystallized, sadly enough, so decided to try out other inks, and right now I'm using a Deleter Black 1, I believe? Yes. Now that I'm working on this, I'm reminded of a question that I keep seeing popping up in the art community, asking if we're digital artists, do you still draw traditionally? And the answer is obviously yes, because they are not mutually exclusive. Simple as that. I don't understand why you would give up one manner of art for another. Like, let's say, I don't say like if you started by sculpting, but you found out sculpting is not for you, and then you decide to paint instead, and that's more for you. That, I'm not talking about that. Like, if you're drawing traditionally and doing the same type of work digitally, this, I don't understand why you would stop one in favor of the other. Because I'm always focused on creating. And I love the whole concept of creating. So the way I see it, the more tools I have to create, the better. To me, like, there is never enough ways to draw. And that brings us back to what I was talking about earlier about the new tools that I got for a new style of coloring. Well, a new style of coloring for me. Because what's going on is that I am using literally only 4 colors to get so many different tints. The classic CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, in order to get a whole range of color. Because the set of tools I bought came with a quote-unquote recipe card for the amount, for the density of the tones and the amount of color to use in each color that you want to reproduce. And the results have been absolutely phenomenal. I am head over heels in love with what's going on right now in my art. And that's why I'm looking forward to finally get to show you guys. Because of course the kit also came with some vintage / distress brushes, and I've actually inked something with them, and it's looking absolutely gorgeous. I would like to say I'm trying to be modest, but I've never tried to be modest ever, so... There we go. I'm gonna let... I've been saying it like 20 times by now. I'm gonna rinse my brush. I need to give it a good go in the brush soap after this. My water's black, so I'm not surprised that the poor brush was all messed up. There we go. You go up there and dry. Whoops. Maybe you would actually be able to go up there if I gave you a little bit of tack paste. Alley-oop. But pretty sure I'm gonna finish my tea. Just gonna take a little break. Again, it's important to take breaks. You have to take care of yourself when you draw, or else you're going to break your back from here to next week. I've been lucky so far, knock on wood. I have never so far had any issues with my wrists while drawing. I try to keep in mind to use my elbow and my shoulder more. We're having a little spike in the RAM. I'm just waiting to see if it's going to calm down. I didn't even notice that stain. I'm seeing it now on my YouTube screen. Okay. I gotta remember that now that I got 2 drinks to register on my drinking app, because I'm also desperately trying to stay hydrated. Because if I'm even slightly dehydrated, then my back tells me, and boy does it tell me. It tells me all day. If I had other colors, maybe I would have made her hair green. You know, just to be a pain in the ass. You know, maybe that's why I don't get art collabs or stuff like that, because of my language. Because I look like this, but I talk like that, if you get what I mean. I'm doing that hyper focus thing again. That's awfully guitar-y for pixel music. I did not sign up for this. Hang on, I got something on the tip. And do I have? I don't. I'm going to try to use my nib tweezers. I should keep some normal tweezers in this drawer. So there we go. We have Galadriel from The Lord of the Rings. If she was drawn by Yoshitaka Amano. Of Final Fantasy fame. Because that's what I felt like doing. And as we all know, I do what I want, and that's it. Let's take a look at Catman. Under the light. Looks good, if I'm careful. Damn, I really like how Galadriel came out. So far, I really like how they all came out. Not gonna lie, pretty happy with the results. We're almost done, folks. I had a 5th prompt, but I'm not wasting a sketch card on a frickin' bagel. You gotta make it interesting. That's why I was happy the first prompt that I got was Betty and Veronica, and I was like, hey, it's been a while since I drew these. And so, of course, I had to go for Sam Schwartz. I literally have Sam Schwartz hanging over my traditional drawing desk as an inspiration. Big fan. Big fan. Of course, here again, we're going to use the layering method to get some shading. Even if most of the work was done with the black ink, it'll add a bit more dimension to add some extra shading and color. I'm gonna go get my blender because I slipped a little bit in the eye. And if I can wash it out with the blender without having to correct it with the Posca, that'd be ideal. So what we're going to do is see, it's already washed out. And that is the true point of a blender. And you see how well the deleter ink dried? I'm not smudging the alcohol marker when rubbing it against the line art. That's why you want to make sure when you use liquid ink that it works with alcohol markers and that it's very, very dry before you apply said alcohol markers, or else you're going to hit yourself and you're going to have to do your best to correct your mistakes, or in worst case scenario, start over. When you're lucky enough in your line art that you have small sections to fill out, go section by section. There'll be less chances for you to... oh, that part was supposed to be black, wasn't it? Yeah. I can still put it black. Oh, I need to refill my 110. I know I got some 110 refill, so... see? I could have done that earlier, of course, but... nah. I just want to show off my brush skills. But seriously, the real reason why I prefer to use actual ink to black out than Copic ink is because black Copic can and will do its best to smudge with your work. It will smudge with itself, and you're not gonna like it. Go. Now, of course, the original Catman's bodysuit is orange, but I gotta do with what I have. That is the whole idea. If I would have tried to use the red with the yellow, then it would have probably ended up muddy and too dark. Once you've worked enough with color, you can actually do these like split decision things easier. It'll come like a second nature to you. You'll be very happy with your progress. Of course, a lot of things I do, even if I look like I'm doing them like à main levée, freehand, preferably within the confines of the card. It's really a lot of practice, observation, thinking about light source, thinking about tints and values and contrast, mostly contrast. That's why whenever I hear, oh, I can't draw like you, and I'm... Person of indeterminate gender? No, you can't draw like me. Can you learn to draw? Yes. Can you eventually draw better than me? More than likely. But what I'm saying is it's a lot of work. But if you really enjoy drawing, it's not going to feel like work. Am I trying to discourage people? Hell nah. Hell nah. Art is fun. Just don't get discouraged. And of course there's going to be people trying to discourage you. But I'm pretty happy with where I am right now with my art. And just drawing makes me pretty happy in general. Even when I work on other people's stuff, even when I'm doing multi-page comics, which are exhausting, but in the end rewarding. There, see, it looks better when there's not a light making it flash. Hang on, what happens if I turn this one off? Oh, it's very dark, but at least now you got a better idea of the light contrast going on with the ink. And with that, I do believe we're done with the prompts. So, let's back up a little bit and take a look at all of today's cards. We have Catman. Classic Catman. We have Galadriel from Lord of the Rings in the style of Yoshitaka Amano, because I can. We have Kirby, of course. Beautiful, cute, adorable, fat Kirby. And Betty and Veronica from the Archie comics, which was, I think, one of my favorite to work on. But I'm fairly happy with the outcome of all of the cards. This was a very fun color combination that Marco Universe used this month. Very happy with it. So now we can go ahead and go to the end screen. Of course, I would like to thank, from the bottom of my heart, my supporters, Amber B, Jeff B, Paul K, Messenovis. Your continued support is immensely appreciated. Just with this month, I was able to afford half of the Craft Tone pack that I bought to experiment with my coloring. Broaden my horizons, because the pack was expensive, let's not lie to ourselves. But But now I added more strings to my bow, so to speak, thanks to you guys. And for everybody else, I hope you had fun watching me draw this. Because I know I had a lot of fun drawing it. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern for the usual bootleg cookie live stream. Of course, same bat time, same bat channels.